Right. Welcome, everybody. I would like to call to order the Energy Awareness Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. We're going to change it up a little bit here first, as the mayor had something to say, so I will welcome the mayor up first, and then we will go from there.
Thank you. As the mayor, it's always a great pleasure for me to serve the community of New Ulm, but even greater than that is all the people that step up to serve on the 17 boards and commissions of the city of New Ulm, sharing their time and their talent, willing to come in and make decisions. And decisions aren't always easy to make. You want the simple decision of yes or no, but when there's debate and there's a bit of controversy, it's always another story, if you will. So I applaud all of you for serving on the commission as volunteers, but today it's all about Jordy and sharing your time and talent with the city and the leadership that you have provided. I want to extend a great appreciation to you. And this isn't a swan song for Jordy because he's already agreed to go on yet another commission of the city of New Ulm. So we will continue to benefit from his leadership. But at this time, I'd like to present you with recognition award for your dedicated service
Thank you.
to the city, and look forward to continuing to working with you.
Thank you. Yes.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Yep. Thank you. Yes, thank you. It's been fun. It's been great. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to what the future brings and helping out on another commission. So thank you.
Yep. What is it? 12 years? Seems like it. You had your 2 terms, and you jumped in for someone else when they left.
April 2016 through
Yeah.
into this year. So
So
yep.
it's been a while.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, because I started with filling in for a term and then kept going after that. So
Yeah.
yep.
Good.
So yep. No, it's been great.
No, you've helped me out a lot also, so I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
No, you're welcome. I'm glad I've been able to help, and it's been great to interact with everybody as well. So. All right, with that said then, we will go on to our first item, which is the approval of our meeting minutes from May 14th, 2024.
I move we accept.
Okay,
Second.
have a motion and second to approve our meeting minutes from May 14th, 2024. Any other questions or discussion? Right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next up then is reports from officers, boards, and commissions. So whenever Derek is ready, we have our CIP statement in activity.
Okay, so it's been a few months since we've had a meeting, so there's been a lot of activity. I guess we'll start just with, usually about this time is when the Public Utilities approves their, the budget. So, but unfortunately, we haven't had that yet, so I can't share anything with the 2025 budget. But as usual, I put it together based on the savings needed for the next year. So it's similar to this last year of this 2024. But as of right now, we have a remaining balance of $196,000, but we've rebated $220,000. So we're doing okay. It would be nice if it was a little bit lower. But as you see in the next paragraph on the agenda, I have some dollar amounts for some rebates that we've given. Some of those weren't included with that remaining balance. So I'll just discuss some of these rebates that we've issued the last month and a half. So a lot of these were issued in October and the early part of November. A lot of them were some restaurants and bars that had gotten some new equipment, which is what I've been trying to get out to these locations that are our customers, because we don't have rebates set up on our website to just focus on those rebates. just because they don't happen that often, right? So as I go and I discuss items with these places, I consistently mention, we can work and get you rebates for appliances, stoves, coolers, things like that. So a lot of these, there's a few on here that are around $1,000, and that's for what they're for commercial appliances, which is something that I've been trying to push the last few years. And then there's some other bigger rebates for air compressors and VFDs, so variable frequency drives. And then I just dropped off a check for the one bullet item, which is the third one down on the list, which was for $45,616. So that was probably the biggest check that I've issued at once. It was kind of a big deal. That was actually it's something I'm going to probably put in the newsletter. That was up at the college. They've done a lot of the last year or so, year and a half. A lot of work on their boilers, lighting, more variable frequency drives, a lot of HVAC work. So we went through and did pretty much a walkthrough of a lot of facilities and did, kind of an audit, walked around, see what was new, what they knew, obviously things that they know they've done, but also look to see, what we thought was new and, question them about it to see if that's something they haven't thought of. And so we go back, get invoices, gather the savings, and kind of come up with a rebate for them. So I dropped that off today to the college president. And so, yeah, what's nice about these rebates, which I think is important, is when, especially for the commercial customers, they're investing this money, maybe to help their bottom line too, but to conserve that energy. And something that they mentioned, which I think is pretty good, and I think other people should consider, is their plan is to reinvest that money into more efficiency, right? So consistently trying to conserve that energy, lower costs, and eventually, save money. I didn't bring the report along, but this first year's savings was, tens of thousands of dollars they're going to be saving just by doing that. So that, along with the rebate dollar amount, helps with the payback, right, of those investments. So that's kind of what hopefully my article turns into for the next newsletter, to help show that they've done a lot of work. There's rebate money available, So other than that, the usual, the statement of the programs is listed in the agenda item. So unless somebody had particular questions regarding a program, that's about all I had for that item.
Do you have any idea how many businesses, I don't know how you approach people to redo things. Are a lot of the places doing that? I mean,
Some do. Sometimes it's hard. You say a new business opens up downtown, and I'll stop in, check out the store, but also, make the utilities presence known. A lot of times they don't own the building, just a business. So it kind of gets tricky that way. But definitely the large commercial and industrial customers should know. That's why sometimes I'll put things in the newsletter, hoping that they catch it in the newsletter, different means that way.
Do you go talk to the chamber ever about it?
Um,
I don't know how big their meetings are, but, if people.
no, I mean, but I've done, did we discuss that, Teresa, with the League of Women Voters that time? There's been different, I can't remember, well, we talked, I've never talked to the chamber committee or board, I should say, that way, no.
Okay, I just thought
Yeah.
that would be a way to connect with them.
Sure, yep.
Okay.
I had some questions. It's on the income statement, and I apologize for being late, so these questions may have been answered. If this says period ending November 30th, does that mean you're this truly? You won't
No,
get
it's not.
anything?
It's just the way the software kicks it out. I had to put a date frame in there, so it could be November 2nd. It's going to say November 30th, even though,
Sure.
yeah. It's
Okay.
just the way it.
So we have 2 months really left of spending
Yes.
and 196,170 left.
It's, and that number, yeah, and that's the downside of having an early meeting in a month and then having stuff still trickling in is whenever we have the meeting, the number is never today. You know, it's never to date. It's always technically incorrect from even the next following day. So there's some of these rebates, you know, there could be another $30,000 left of that. I did 25 rebates today, and I'm not even
Okay.
through. So that number is always, that's why, you know, in years past, January and February of that next year, I'm still talking about the prior year's items because we're still processing stuff from that following.
The reason
prior
I say
year.
good is that I would hate to have 196,000
Oh, right.
not.
Yeah.
And then for the items that have overspent, is
Yep.
that a problem given that there are several items that are underspent?
No, the reason why I allow those to go over is because, for example, this one is. Can't
there's
see. I was trying to look to see if there was like a
residential
gas one. Okay, we have. Well, for anyone, say it's
There's residential lighting rebate. is
Sure, but-
1696.
so there's. Say there's $270,000 put into all the programs that are electric. If I would just stop at, you know, residential lighting, I'd be missing out on capturing savings from that program when technically all those electrical programs, I to me fall under that 270.
Okay.
So really, I use that as gauging, you know, how popular they are kind of also and whatnot. To me, it's always the overall budget.
So
don't-
potentially we'll get more even, but it's not a problem to overspend in some and underspend in others because
Right.
it comes out of the pot for
Yeah,
electrical. Okay.
right. Yeah, so it's pretty much as long as that remaining isn't in so right on the balance sheet, it's 196K. If that's negative, then I
That's
didn't do a
problem.
good job. Yeah. But individual programs, it's not a big issue. I don't turn people away for that anymore.
Sure.
In years past, we did because that was just the thinking. Now it's different. Yeah.
And is there anything that this team can do? I guess it kind of goes to Deb a little bit to your question about ensuring that businesses and residential customers are aware of the rebates beyond, I know it's advertised in the newsletter and there have been, you know, we did a New Ulm forum on it and I think we've tabled, I don't know if there's are more, is there like a welcome wagon where we could?
Nah. It a lot of times it comes down to, you know, and I don't know if anything had to do with some things that the elections were going on, if some people were slowing down a little bit until they knew what was going on. It comes down to really the industrial customers and the large commercial customers. Because the residential customers alone aren't going to take all these funds and capture the savings needed. So it's really up to them. And I write to them, you know, throughout the year, especially during and in the year now, I really push and say, have you done anything if I have a large amount of money? So it's kind of up to them to report those issues. But that's another thing of what I haven't necessarily been advertising, but I'll call up and we'll do this type of audit like we did at the college, where, you know, what have you done? You know, well, we're looking to do this, you know, and you talk, and it's like, well, how about we try this? And we'll go and we'll look at things. And you start looking, you start seeing things, and you realize,
Opportunities.
you know, over the last year, maybe 2 years at the most, we've done all this stuff. And I can capture that savings. So the savings from just the college alone was like 800 or 900,000 kilowatt hours. That's over half of what we need at one facility. So So it's going and doing more things like that. We went to the brewery. So we have yet to find out stuff going on there. So it's kind of really taking the initiative more than obviously waiting for them to come to us, but for us to start going to them much more aggressively.
And what about public buildings such as the library, or I guess the Historical Society is not public? I mean, it's a not-for-profit, but
So
are
any
those,
any government building can get a rebate, except for the utility. So, because you can't rebate yourself. So,
Right.
I mean, if we had a facility like a natural gas facility, their building that did lighting, we could probably rebate them because that department's not putting funds into the electric rebates. Same with, you know, the EDD building needs a water heater. They could probably be, if they buy a gas one, they could probably get a rebate for a gas water heater because they don't put into the natural gas funds. So yeah, I mean, really, pretty much anybody's eligible to get a rebate. That's a customer of the utility.
or the apartments,
With,
like Garden Terrace, or?
yep, they've gotten rebates before.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the Park and Rec has gotten rebates before. I don't know if it was 2 years ago, we did an audit at the field house like we had done at the college. I think I can't remember, $14,000 check or something maybe they got, or 20.
Mhm.
I'd have to go back and look, but yep.
So, Derek, how is the holiday LED lighting going? Are you still getting demand for that, or has it kind of?
There's been a handful of people. Yeah, that's like every other year.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's every other year the squirrels get people's lighting outside and they come in and they get, there's been years where I'll get chamber dollars and I have $1,200 left. And then the next year I use that and then I go get more. So it's kind of,
Okay.
which is why I usually budget like 2,000. And and as soon as I get chamber dollars, then this gets wiped out. So
Yeah. No, I was just curious because I was like, if there's money left, if you can capture savings and there's a demand,
Right.
maybe you could do that more. But I'm also guessing too, there's probably quite a few that have made that transition already to LED. So that's probably
and that's
why.
and that's the same with the commercial lighting. Last year when I reported, I think we had 700, 800,000 kilowatt hours for lighting, and that's really low. Usually, I'm getting 70% of my savings, overall savings I need for the state is coming from, commercial lighting. So that was down quite a bit. I assume that's part of the reason a lot of people have switched over. Not everybody, but a lot of people
Yeah.
have.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the CIP statement.
I have I don't know if it fits in here or not. How are we doing as far as the car charging stations? Do we have enough, or are they being used, Has there been a request for more of them?
Well, there's more in town that I think people realize. Because, just recently, you have the utility owned off of German Street with the Volkswagen settlement money. The city received the one outside of just right over here in the parking lot. Chuck Spaeth Ford has one.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think Jensen Motors has. I think at least 3 car dealerships have them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
how many
yeah,
there were.
so I don't know the usage on those. The ones that the utility and the city own, they get usage. It's not it's not a lot, but they get usage. Yeah.
I just
yeah,
wondered how that
yep,
was going. Okay.
Yep.
I move approval of the CIP statement and activity report.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve the CIP statement and activity report. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do not have any old business this month, so we'll move right on to new business. And the first one is Green Steps Cities Best Practice 6.1, Adopt the Comprehensive Plan. I know we've talked about that several times, but now that that has been adopted, we can
Right.
continue on with that. Derek?
Yeah, as Jordy mentioned, that was adopted by City Council. So that is something that is a major component of the Green Steps cities. There's a lot that I have here, obviously. I'm not going to read through all of it, but everything in bold is things that I found within the comprehensive plan that is specifically mentioned within this best practice. So and these are the items that I'm going to send off to Green Steps Cities coordinator, such as, infill of new projects, open spaces and parks and areas. So I have kind of cut and paste different aspects within the comp plan to show them that we're meeting a lot of the what they're asking within the comp plan. Also included will be the comp plan, and I'm going to also include the zoning ordinance, which I think was adopted in 2022, which has some updated material in there that's also mentioned in the comp plan. So I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at it, if they had any questions about the items that I chose to put in there, or if you had a chance to look at that best practice. But I feel it's going to meet the criteria of what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit. I think Teresa, I think you were there too at one of the open houses for it, and John and I were talking about actually quite a few of the things that you pulled out and relating that back to that best practice, so.
It just seems that there's a lot of things in there that should qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in each of the bold statements, I have like land use, housing, goals and strategies, transportation, utilities. They're all things that are specifically mentioned within the best practice of what they're, looking for to capture from within, within the city's comprehensive plan.
Any other questions or discussion?
I'll make the motion to approve Green Step Cities Best Practice 6.1.
Second.
A motion and second to approve Green Steps Cities Best Practice 1, which is dealing with the comprehensive plan. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is to receive an order file notification on Sustainability Committee and Energy Awareness Commission.
So during 2024, the city of New Ulm engaged Bolton Menk to develop a strategic plan for the city. One of the themes of the plan was sustainability. Going forward, the city is taking the first steps in a newly formed sustainability committee, yet to be named. I don't know if it will be named Sustainability Committee or not. But the committee will consist of community members looking to find ways and direct the community in sustainability, and renewable energy, and worthwhile efforts to guide future generations in the community. With this, beginning in 2025, the City of New Ulm is planning to dissolve the Energy Awareness Commission. The main purpose of the EAC was to help establish and guide the Utilities Conservation Improvement Program. As you are aware, the SIP has been established for numerous years and evolves on its own through Minnesota Department of Commerce mandates and state statute changes. So if there's any current members of the Energy Awareness Commission that are interested in being part of the new committee, I encourage you to talk to Mayor Backer and put your name in the hat to join that new committee that they're looking to form. So as you know, sustainability is a pretty broad word, but that's what they're looking for. I think what the city manager is looking to do with it is it to be community I mean, not only community focused, but the committee to be the driving force of that. So it may be something I'm involved in with a part as, you know, kind of sitting on the sidelines along with other city employees. But I guess more to come. I've heard a little bit of some ideas, but I don't know if it's set in stone yet. It's something that I think will go to the city council possibly February. So it's not for certain yet, but it needs to be voted on and approved upon. So, yep.
Would it be the intent, well, would the committee oversee Green Step Cities since the plan?
I
expressly
think so.
calls
Yeah,
out
I
Green
think it will
Step
be a
Cities?
big portion of their. Well, I don't know if it's a big portion. It will be part of a lot, or they can use it as a manual or to grab ideas from whether or not they follow it. You know, as gospel, I guess you could say, is up to them. You know, that's kind of the whole point. Is if the community wants this, then they can have a larger voice. I'm not even sure if it would be necessarily underneath city council or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of more to come.
Mayor, did
Does
you have
Mayor
something
Backer
to?
have some further information to enlighten us about?
At this point, I can't really give you additional information. We've had conversation about this body and the role that you have played, and we know that we have an obligation under the state of Minnesota, I believe it's 2040, when we look at.
2040, yep.
Yeah. So there's that goal out there to be, sustainable energy, and we would like to expand the role of this a commission, and rather than having an energy awareness commission and a sustainability, we thought it made sense to have them be one and the same. And so our work now for us is to establish how many members would sit on that commission, how they go about appointing them, and then what their responsibilities are. So that's still in the works, but we know what will happen, and it will happen in early part of 2025. Yes.
Who will draft that sort of committee job description, if you will, or
Um,
commission?
I believe that that'll come out of the city manager's office with input from others.
Got it.
Yeah, and that would include Chris Manderfelt from the PUC, as well as Derek and others that have been involved in the process. But I do know that one of the things that was emphasized is that it be community-driven, and we want buy-in from the community. And those of you who know that when you sit on commissions, you are really not only the shepherds and leaders, but you then basically have a network of people that you impress and share information. And so I believe that the commission will probably be larger than the 5 that we presently have sitting, but I can't say that for sure. That's just my impression.
Right. I guess that's the impression I got as well.
Yes.
So this is our last meeting, and are we having a party?
Oh, well, we don't have a party after this. We can get together and have a party. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, I wasn't. I knew that this was gonna occur, but it wasn't until I was drafting this Friday that I was told to put this on the agenda. So I wasn't really prepared for it to. I mean, it makes sense. So it kind of was sooner than what I thought, but yeah. But I stress that if you're interested, to put, let the mayor know. I think from what I've gathered, and I can't say, for sure, but I'm not sure if there's even going to be PUC members or city council members sitting on it, at least from what I've gathered in initial talks. It's literally the community is kind of trying to be the driving force.
To be continued. As Derek
Yeah.
says, it seems a bit premature in that we haven't officially approved the strategic plan, and that's still out there. But I think the intent was to make sure that the members sitting here are aware that there is going to be a shift, and it just seems like it is a good use of time of our volunteers not to have the two commissions sitting next to each other. And we also, beyond looking at the Sustainability Commission, we're also exploring all other, we have 17 boards and commissions, and we're looking at the value of them as far as do we roll some of them into other commissions and have ad hoc appointments just to deal with certain aspects of that particular commission, and then the number of people. Some commissions have 11 and 12 persons sitting on them, and we're looking at whether or not that is something that we want to continue. So it's not just the Energy Awareness Commission that we're looking at. The only reason this one is singled out is because sustainability is such an important piece going forward, and that's the one we've been looking at first.
And if you remember back to, I can't remember which best practice it is, but there is actually best practice in the Green Step that deals with community involvement. So then you're tying back into that with the Green Step. So it's a great step forward with that. So
And I think in a lot of communities, from what I'm looking at a lot of different of what other communities have done and how there is someone maybe from a city that submits things and whatnot, but it's that Green Step Cities is it's a group of community members leading the effort. That's not so much the city, but telling the city and asking the city to do the best practices within it.
Just an observation, if this isn't tied to the city formally, I would be a little concerned that some of the goals in the strategic plan, including continuation of the Green Step Cities and monitoring, isn't as accountable perhaps as it might be if it were an official city commission or
No,
committee.
I'm not saying it won't be an official city commission. If you notice these meetings and some of the other meetings, there's someone from the city or the public utilities maybe sometimes leading the meeting. Yeah, like I think I told Jordy before the meeting started, it could be myself or maybe depending on who this commission would want to speak to, they're more in control. That's the way I see this. They're the ones in control. Which they should be.
any other questions or discussion? Otherwise, I'll be looking for a motion on that to receive an order filed.
I'll make the motion to receive an order file notification on Sustainability Committee and Energy Awareness Commission.
You had, okay. Yep. So we have a motion and second to receive an order filed notification on Sustainability Committee for Energy Awareness Commission. Any other questions or discussion? Right, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Any other commissioner comments? I'll just again say thank you one more time, since this is my last meeting. Thank you, everybody, for your effort and volunteering your time and everything all the meetings you've come to and all that. And thank you, Derek, for
thank you,
always
Jody.
preparing everything and being ready, prepared to answer all the questions
Yeah.
to get tossed at you. So, yeah, thank you. Any other Otherwise, with that, it'd be
Move adjournment?
yeah, motion.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.